We're going to look at a gentleman's yacht today. Flag blue.
Flag blue.
Is that gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
Just good. These boats are special. They take a lot of time to build. These are all like little fine pieces of jewelry. Hi there, this is Captain Q and my old sailing buddy Randy. Join us as we travel hither and yon as we look for some great deals on classic boats and learn a little with each one. Randy!
Captain!
How are you, pal?
Good, how are you?
You're probably all wondering why I asked you here today, right? As you can tell by my attire, we're going to look at a gentleman's yacht today. A gentleman's yacht really starts with a purchase of a Hinckley. It's the baseline for all gentleman yachts. Today we have a beautiful Hinckley 50 Sou'wester. She comes off a design of Bill Tripp's when Hinckley built what they called the Hinckley 48. And would you believe it? We actually had one in our family. I sailed it from New York to Florida, off Hatteras, no real blow, but she was so comfortable the whole way. We had a great trip, a terrific time. And what Hinckley did, they built about 8 of those, and they decided they needed to change the configuration of the interior. So they stretched it out, and Mr. Henry Hinckley claims the designership of this particular vessel, and he's really done a nice job of upgrading it, making it even a little more comfortable. The 48 was kind of the tail end of Tripp's offshore racing boat designs and layouts. So the boat has got really fine lines. She's not deep keel. She's a centerboarder, easy to handle, and you're off and running. You're going to see when we get on this boat that there's no ducking and weaving to move anywhere. The decks are the widest we've seen. You will see that it actually has 2 masts.
2 masts.
2 masts. We love 2 masts. And this is a classic Hinckley yawl. She's not over-rigged.
What do you mean by over-rigged?
Well, in other words, you don't have a giant spar with 3 or 4 sets of spreaders on it, and which gets a little tricky tuning the rig. She's got a very solid single spreader rig, and really there's a true feeling when I get aboard this boat, especially on deck, of the PB. Why don't we go take a look at it? We're going to come up and take a look at our good old mushy bow, right? That's nice and rounded, not sharp edges. She's full up forward. This is pretty much a full-length keel, cutaway forwards, down low a little bit, but notice the height of the bow off the water. There's enough volume up here to give the boat added buoyancy so that when she meets a wave, she'll lift up and ride over it. I had to step off the Hinckley for a few minutes to come down and help the owner of this boat.
Is Captain Q here?
Yeah, hey, how are you, Sam?
Well, how are you?
What do you got for me, buddy?
Oh, hello, Fresh.
Oh, hello, Fresh. You know, Randy, you're probably wondering what I'm doing. Yeah. Every once in a while, I get just a little tired of the Denny Moore. A little fresh here will change my life.
So what is the Hello Fresh?
Well, it's actually a box of pre-proportioned meals that are delivered right to you fresh at home or even at a marina. They have so many recipes from which to choose. You can have a fresh meal 7 days a week to help you really break out of your recipe rut, whether at land or at sea. Oh, and it isn't just for meals. It has a variety of add-ons too, like breakfast, desserts, and seasonal snacks, like the Pillsbury pumpkin cookie dough. You remember that? We used to do that in the pan.
That would make the boat smell pretty good.
It would make it smell very good. You really should know that the packaging that HelloFresh uses is made almost entirely from recyclable materials or materials that can be recycled themselves. HelloFresh offers a wide variety of quick and easy cooking recipes, including easy cleanup and really low prep options.
Oh, you like the low prep?
I like the low prep. I like to get it on the plate as soon as possible because the crew is really getting hungry. HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients means there's less prep and less wasted food. Purchasing HelloFresh will cut down on your food wastage by at least 25%. As opposed to going to the grocery store. It really is delightful, isn't it? And it didn't take much to do.
Pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
What do you think?
Yeah, this is a delight.
Here we go. Let's test this out.
Ooh. You're not a bad cook.
Well, with HelloFresh, and anybody can be a great cook. Go to HelloFresh.com and sign up using the code CaptainQ14. This is really tasty.
This definitely is better than your standard Dinty move.
Well, that's true. This is a great replacement for Dinty Moore. Just go to HelloFresh.com and sign up using the code CaptainQ14. And listen to this. If you use the code, you will get up to 14 free meals and 3 free gifts. She was built in Maine by Maine craftsmen. When you go down the list of Hinckley boats, you'll notice they only list about 23 different designs. If you look at Pearson yachts, Bill Shaw did over 55 designs himself. You know, mass-producing boats, good boats. We like Pearson boats, they're good boats. But these boats are special, they take a lot of time to build, and you'll see that in some of the detail. What's the first thing you see that we like on a hull?
Oh, this gold cove stripe, I think. Just beautiful.
It's gorgeous, and you can actually see your sneakers in that. She's got a little rub strake up here, and it's on a painted piece, so it blends into the hull. And right here, this is kind of a little interesting note while you're in here. See this little thing here, what that says?
Sling.
Sling. You know why that's there? That's where you put a sling to pick the boat up. Nice varnished teak tow rail. We got a couple spots here that are going to need to be touched up, maybe just before she goes under for the winter. And what color is the hull here? Flag blue.
Flag blue.
Is that gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
Just good. White boot top. It's a striking combination. It's classic New England yachting stuff. And there's a window here. What do you think that window's for?
Oh, you tell me.
When she's heeled out and you're charging along and you're starting to get close to the Gulf Stream, the water gets wicked clear. You can look through that and you'll see the porpoise. And it's like being in your own magnificent aquarium. So as we come along, double set of fittings here. This is nice. So you need big lines for this boat, and one of these wouldn't be enough and it'd be too crowded, so they put 2 in. This spring line will keep the boat from moving backwards, and then there's a forward spring that'll keep the boat from moving forwards. Boat comes with a gate on it on each side, big heavy gauge sail track here with movable cars that just, you know, will slide up. You can set up the general wherever you want it. Coming back, she's got a nice sweeping counter, kind of old school. I think you'll see the attached rudder, a 3-bladed prop in an aperture, good tracking gear underneath there. Centerboard boats are great. They'll help you sail the weather a little better than just having no board. She's got a very pretty transom on her. Here's the push pit on here, and this is a rugged weldment all set up here. With a stern light right in the middle, up high. Somebody will be able to see you leaving or coming. Look at this integrated casting here that's used for running backstays, for dock line fair leads, and a support for the push pit itself. These are all like little fine pieces of jewelry.
Isn't it wonderful?
They're just wonderfully done. Should we get on board?
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Come on back, buddy. Oh, this is wonderful. Gosh, where do you start on a boat like this? The height of these cockpit combings, look at them. They're really wonderful and beautifully varnished teak with 2 big, deep pockets on each side to accommodate winch handles, sandwiches. I was perched up on this dandy seat, and you'll notice the captain has got a fair amount of girth, right? This isn't going to move. I want you to look at the fitting underneath here. This is something Hinckley had to have done themselves. This is a Yacht Specialties wheel, and we've seen these on a couple of other boats. Usually it's Edson, but Yacht Specialties is a very good brand. A wonderful Ritchie compass in binnacle here. We have a full array of GPS. You know, we've seen these a number of times. This is a great new array come out. This is from Garmin. This is not extraordinarily beamy. She's 13 feet. Some of the newer boats today tend to run around 14 feet. Got a nice set of cushions in this cockpit. They don't look very thick, but you know what's nice about these? Let me just show you. I can stand on it, and I can walk all around the cockpit, and it's not going to try and be so soft to throw me off the boat. Small point, but it allows you to leave the cushions in place and have some comfort for your buttocks. We've got a variant, this is 28, I think, electric winch. This is going to push this button right here, and this winch is going to rotate all by itself. So setting the jib, tailing it off here to the electric winch, and then standing up right behind me, I've got the mizzen halyard right here. You're going to wind it up on this, and then when it gets up tight, you just stop and it will hold it. This is an adjustable backstay. This goes up to the top of the mainmast, and it pulls the top of the mainmast back and tensions the headsail. This is a variant winch handle I'm putting in here. This will turn and it will suck that bar down into the tube, and you'll tension your headstay with it. We've got a couple of lockers back here, 3 different lockers. 2 of them are locked. I'm not certain what's in there. In this locker, again, beautifully varnished inside of the hatch. We've got 3 different tanks in here. They're all propane. Can you see this non-skid?
Yep.
It's really nice. It's got just enough tooth for it to make your topsiders work very well. Right above you, you see where the lifelines meet the push pit, and they've got adjustable nuts on here for them, and they have what's now considered sort of old style lifelines with the plastic coating on them. One more hatch further aft here. This is truly the lazarette. I don't know what's in there, but it looks storage, but it's locked right now. Let's move up forward here a little bit. Okay, Randy, a nice set of engine controls here. Again, all shiny behind glass. And that can be removed from inside. Sailing gauges from Garmin up over the hatchway for depth, speed, apparent wind, and so on. On this boat, they've led it to a mid-boom sheeting arrangement. We've seen that on other boats. The red line's down there underneath the boom. Then you come in here and you can crank your main sheet just inside the cabin here. We've noticed a hatch here. This is so many little nice things on the boat. This is what we like about these Hinckleys. Here's a little wire that will hold your snatch blocks. You can see lines attached to the snatch blocks here. This boat, the cockpit is all just canted slightly. I imagine if you measure, it might be something like 3 or 4 degrees downward. To look at these giant sized scuppers here. Down in front here, we have the cap for the auxiliary rudder post. So here, you can sit here probably, steer the boat like an old timer. Now let's take a look forward, okay? Now here's the main traveler and main sheet, and with a separate set of traveler lines. These are all sparkly new, and they've been refit, I think, within the last 12 months or so. And this is really lovely. Instead of the normal flat hatch, they put in one of these butterfly hatches. It's all done with leaded glass, and that makes some interesting light patterns below decks. You recognize this guy right here, right?
Sure, good old Charlie.
Charlie Noble. There's nothing like a few extra feet to make you comfortable on a boat. I feel like I'm on an aircraft carrier right now, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, you want to talk about derades? Look at the vents on here.
Wow.
And the derade boxes. All the winches are here inside what some people like to refer to as sissy bars. Look up here and you'll see a track going up the front part of the mast. What do we call that?
Spinnaker pull track.
Right, and it's good size. On some of the older designs, they had an actual variant grind mechanism, could have handled in there and crank up on chain. This is just a rope hoist. Not hard racers, they don't really need that. So this will work perfectly. Here's a nice ring that you will put the jaw of the spinnaker pole that's lying on the deck down there. And then there's control lines that can hook onto either side of this car, and you can hoist it up or down. Going forward, another huge volume wind scoop. We have an electric windlass here. And there's one little feature I know you noticed earlier. Look down, see the hole down there? Down in the navigator's chart table, there's a little stainless plug that will fit right into that and act as a lock, so that that chain can never run free. We have a roller furling jenny. This is, looks like a hood system. There's a very strong chain lock here as well. So we've got double protection on losing your anchor chain. When you drop the sail, there's different systems. This is good old school again. It's gonna come down and you can drop that halyard, actually let the halyard fly, and the sail will flop down inside these lines, which they call lazy jacks, and the sail just goes boom, and almost flakes itself out completely. I think, Randy,
It's time?
it's time.
Let's do it.
Once again, I'm going to invite you aboard a lovely yacht here today.
Oh, thanks.
Truly a gentleman's yacht. I mean, I'm so comfortable here. Nice deep cushions. I'm really anchored in the corner of this dinette. There's room for 1, 2, 3, 4 people on this side. And I'll show you in a minute. This table, look at this table, pops up very nicely. And you can also turn this table.
Yeah.
I'm sitting right next to what is obviously to me, a friendly good old Paul Luke fireplace. She has a wood-burning grate down here below, and there's a catch pan down there that will fill up with ashes, and you can pull this out. And at the top, you see a damper handle up there, and you can set that to slow or increase the rate of burn. We've got 2 beautiful instruments. There's a tide and clock instrument here, and we've got a gorgeous barometer here. Here we have a gimbal oil lamp, right? And this is designed to move when the boat tilts. So we want a little cabin light down here. Well, the one catch to this is it has a bell up here, if you will, that will tilt as well. So when this is burning, it's going to miss the cap on it, won't it? So you'll get soot on your overhead. So if you ever install one of these on your boat, and they're really neat because they're charming and they give a little warmth as well, put it on a piece of wood so that both these pieces are on the same pieces of wood. There is the best all-time pilot berth we've seen yet. And it's got a good, 6-inch cushion on that. Sea Dog loves it. This is often a problem on many of these boats, but you can set it up now. You have a simple table, or you can turn it, and it makes it very easy for somebody in the corner to get out and egress or ingress. On the other side, we have our classic settee. I'm going to pull this out. Wow! It's almost a double. But when you pull that out, you then can bring up your other side of the table, and you've now added at least two comfortably on this side of the table to dine. Notice the shelving that's been built in here, and this is often, these boats are built custom. They don't come out of a mold. Everybody asks for certain aspects of the boat, but if you notice here, the width from here back to the ceilings, this is a real additional pilot berth potential. If you didn't need this storage, and there's so much storage on this boat, I think I might possibly remove this, as handsome as it is, and have another pilot berth up there. Let me take you up to the nav station here. Next to the Expedition, this is the biggest yet. This is enormous. And now it's a stand-up table, and you can figure out where you're going, chart everything here. If you need tools, giant drawer underneath here. All your sets of breakers are right in front of you, nice and bright. This is the thing about these Hinckley boats, when everything is legible. Now back in here, we have a quarter berth. All of your power system is here, and there's 2 different lines coming in. Nice quarter berth here. What do you think? Should we check this berth out?
Yeah, see what you got.
Now, even dressed as sartorial splendor that I am today, I'm going to leave my shoes on because they're really clean today. They're really, really clean. And I'm going to just slide into this berth. And once again, I have no pillow, do I? This is very handy because, as you can see me, right? Can you see me?
That's the most handy thing on a whole boat.
It's fabulous. What a nice little box. A nice little mirror. And we also have a clock here to watch the tide.
One thing I noticed as we were coming in here is how pretty the floor, the cabin sole looks.
Well, this is real teak and holly. And I'll just pull up a little piece here for you to see. If we can get this in here. Special key for that.
Oh.
You see how that's done?
Yeah.
Each one of those pieces got to glue together. Not just a piece of plywood put on top of another piece of plywood. We've just opened up this one part of the cabin sole here, and we see a nicely painted up bilge, and it's so clean down there. We could eat down there, couldn't we?
We could, and dry.
Oh, right. It looks like a Ford Lehman engine there, that red engine down there. Raycor fuel filter system, and the nice thing about these, you can throw this lever, and you can service one Raycor and still have the engine running. Open that right up.
There we go.
There you go.
Dustpan.
A dustpan. And what's underneath that?
Oh.
What do you like there?
That's your raw water filter.
That's your raw water intake, right?
Yep.
I could prepare food for the entire fleet here. There's a 4-burner gimbal stove right in front of us. We've seen this. And there's a lock down here. See, I undid the lock. So when the boat heels over, this will stay level. And if you happen to be cooking something really good. Now, look at the size of the fridge we got here. Lots of ways to get in here, so you don't have to open the whole thing all the time, but you can check stuff out. And then we've got another side, another access section here that's walled off. And this would probably be your freezer section. This is one of our bigger, ubiquitous pot and pan pieces we've ever seen. Now, this boat has air conditioning and reverse cycle heating, so that's why you need the additional power lines coming into the boat, the two separate 30 amp lines coming in. And there are the gauges for them right there. Storage areas over here. I just grab anything. And again, I'm opening and closing these things just to show you how smoothly they go. I don't know, could be winners. They're really close to the best. This is convenient. This is going to be a fresh water tap right here for probably filtered water. And I don't know, one of these pumps here is going to be salt water. This could be your super drink water here. When you cook, you make a mess. And one thing, you want to chop some stuff up here, you can just slide it on the counter and slide it over this grate, and it will drop down into a wastebasket, which is not there right now. So let's head back. There's actually two separate heads. And come on into this one. This is the showering head. It has a vacuum flush head. It's a big room. This is it's a big space. And here's your shower grate. You can flop the curtain over and just disappear. You see? There we go. I dare you to open the shower curtain.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hello, we have sort of another twofer here. You've got a vacuum flush head there. You've got a good old hand pump head here.
It's pretty unusual to see two heads.
It's very unusual. I've never quite seen it before.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things you might just get used to, you know? Here's a door on a set of drawers.
Oh, wow.
I mean, all crew members, and this boat's really set for 6 people ideally. Each one would have a place for their toothbrush, their toothpaste. This is a very nice little sort of Korean sink arrangement here. You've got a handheld shower head here, which would help you wash your hair, do something here. This is not really set up for a shower in this particular compartment. Look at the size of that light coming in there. Yeah. That's from the Duray with a translucent panel in it. And then if it's too bright or too whatever, you can pull another one on inside. Towel racks hung up high, 110 volt outlets. Nice, we got a blower up in the head. Look at the size of this mirror.
Oh, that's a CQ size.
You think that's pretty nice size? Okay, let's step into the master stateroom here. It's hard to appreciate the volume in this cabin, except there's me in here taking up not much room. We have a big skylight right now, and they have a temporary solar panel over it, and this room would be twice as light without that on there right now. But giant berths, and notice again, what do we have?
Square toes.
Square toes. There is an accommodation here to put turn this into truly a king size bed. If this thing were in there, this berth would be, that's 6 feet. This would be 9 feet wide.
Wow. And
6 feet long. Now, I am going to just pop up here again with really clean shoes, and I hate to do this, but let me just put this up here for a moment. Catch my feet. And we have an easy landing here on a giant bunk, don't you think? You know what else? I'm the captain. I own this boat, right?
Yep.
And I want to see what's going on. I've got my dolphin looker.
Oh, yeah.
Great space in this room. I'm not going to begin to try to figure out some of the wiring, but we have, they always put that up there high.
Wow.
Randy, check out the stainless strap used as a support for the staysail tack up on deck. And there's giant shelving up in there. You really could turn that into almost an extra cabin. Also have heating and cooling controls over on the bulkhead here. You can see that again. The captain sleeping on the starboard side would be able to control his comfort level in this cabin. Now let's get out of here. But I want you to walk by these giant, nice big hanging lockers right here, and with flow through air and so on. This is not an old boat. Well, Randy, today was a special day. A little stroll down memory lane to some degree, to be back on one that looks brand new, though she's not. And she's just as lovely and solid as any Hinckley you've ever seen. They don't make millions of these boats. They make special, solid boats with the best of craftsmen that Maine can provide. And today we saw that, exemplified by spotless, incredibly accurate fiberglass work, detail work, and the cabinetry, simple and plain but solid, all solid wood below decks. Everything done is a neat and tidy way, and the way a gentleman and a gentlelady might appreciate. I think it's time we give this boat a rating. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. If it floats, it gets a 10, right? And we've seen it floating. This is a boat that's 50 feet long and will go anywhere in the world. She's solid as a rock. She has a simple, sophisticated rig. There's nothing more you can really ask for in a boat. I'm going to give it an extra 10 right off the bat. It's a Hinckley, there's no question. So we're starting out at 20. And the general condition of the boat, we've got to go to a 5. Availability and ready to go. 5 more.
Wow.
This is another 30.
Still out of control.
We've hit another 30. I hope you've enjoyed this view, and we certainly loved it. I don't know what else can you say about a Hinckley. It's the best.
If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when the next one comes out, please hit the alert bell. And that's not desperate at all. We're having too good a time doing these things, so you can hit the bell or not.
Randy, how would I ever find out what's coming up next?
You can follow us on Instagram here
Yeah.
or Facebook here. We'll have little previews of what's coming up on our next episodes. A little bit early.
That's pretty cool. Previews. You all join me. I'm going to Instagram right now, and I'm going to find out what's coming up next week. Thank you very much.
You know, Instagram's not a place.